Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'd like to talk about food today. As someone who has Mast Cell Activation Syndrome, I can tell you that I love and hate food. And a big reason for that is because sometimes I feel like I could eat anything. And by feeling like I could eat anything, I explore food options like I've never explored them before, and then get tongue swelling and all sorts of other fun anaphylactoid responses to things. That's not fun. It's actually very scary. And in all seriousness, it sucks because it does create this weird anxiety around eating. And right now, I'm kind of in this weird stage where I want to eat food, but I'm scared of food again because I've had problems with people not taking my allergies serious and then putting stuff into food as a joke, which is allergy bullying, by the way. And basically, you're trying to kill someone by doing that, so don't do it. But having had that happen, it does make it a little concerning to try to eat either around other people or if someone's created something and they're like, oh yeah, sure, eat it. And if I didn't see them prepare it, I'm more than likely not going to eat it because I don't know if you've actually done that in a food that doesn't have certain allergens in them for sure, right? So there's that. But food anxiety is definitely something that I have a lot of, and right now I'm currently in like a not really eating much stage because of all of the unpleasant trees that I've had, like stomach swelling. Sometimes my stomach will get so big it'll look like I'm 9 months pregnant and it'll be hard and it really hurts, and then I can't like eat anything anyways because my stomach hurts and there's like inflammation there. And then you get other unpleasantries like vomiting. I get cyclic vomiting. Vomiting is basically when you like eat something and then you just keep puking and 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 puking. I think I stressed that there, so I think you understand. So it can happen for up to 12 hours for me, which is intense, and then I'm extremely dehydrated. So I do have medications that I take to thwart that because it is something that causes a lot of issues. Being chronically dehydrated is an issue, and I would rather not be. So I do my best to like steer clear of a lot of foods and that kind of stuff that can cause that kind of symptom. But it's also like I could eat stuff that's on my safe food list and then still have all of that happen. And then some. So lately I've been more reactive still, which feels like forever, and because of that it's a lot more difficult to like eat, which sucks. So I'm kind of having to take a break from food and just drink like Boost and have protein powders and like shakes and that kind of stuff, which is a whole other thing. And like it is what it is, but it's also, it sucks. It also makes me glad that I don't really have to be around other people eating though, because like when I would go through these stages before, if I was living with someone and they were like in my space and they were eating all of this wonderfully smelling food, it would tempt me to like eat it, and then having like the abdominal distension and pain and then the vomiting, it wouldn't be worth it. So I would just be like making myself worse. So it kind of gives my like gastrointestinal tract a bit of a break. I'll have broths and like bone broth and that kind of stuff, and um, like soups. They have to be homemade soups and that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of like meal prep and then having it put in the freezer and that kind of thing. I have thought about like maybe filming that kind of stuff at some point, but it's also like I don't really have the most best wow, I don't really have the best setup for that right now. Ideally, once I get like settled and that kind of thing, maybe I could film some of that kind of stuff and share like bone broth recipes that I've found and that kind of thing. If that's something you're interested in, please comment on the video if you made it this far and let me know if that's something that you're interested in. And then once I get settled, then maybe we can do something like that, like cooking kind of things or whatever. But everyone's so different with the mast cell stuff and what they can and can't eat. That's also another thing. Some of the stuff I can't have, other people can have, and vice versa, right? So it's very individualized. Really depends on the person. It depends on what their trigger foods are and that kind of thing. So that's a whole other bag of worms. But it's like important for myself to give my stomach a break. And I don't know if other people do this a similar thing, but it's also like I do get a lot of pain if I don't, and if I just keep eating stuff, I feel like crap. So, and I have had pancreatitis in the past, which is basically inflammation in your pancreas, and because of that, it makes me wonder if the pain that I've had is that again as well. And usually the way that they treat that is like, you know, not eating a whole bunch of food. You basically like take a break from food and then you introduce food slowly later. So you can't like do it all at once or you get quite sick. So you have to do it very slowly. But it's also taking a break and just like having juices and soups and then like going back to solid foods and that kind of stuff. So I don't know if that's something that someone else is also going through. Like, do you guys have that? Do you have where you can't like eat for a bit because it just hurts all the time? Or is it like just a me thing? I don't think it's just a me thing. I would think other people experience it, but I don't know, right? That's why I'm asking. So I don't want to assume everybody has the same stuff. Because that's another thing with like the mast cell stuff. Everyone's symptoms are so different. Like, maybe people don't get facial swelling, right? Maybe they get flushing, they turn red. Like, that's the thing. Every person is so different, and everyone's symptoms and systems are so different, which is why it also makes it really hard to diagnose because everybody interacts with the allergens different, right? Which is also why it's a infuriating disease, because you could know someone that has the same thing and it affects them completely different. Like, I've met people over the years that are able to like go out and about and do everything outside the house, and then, you know, they have a couple trigger foods and they just stay away from those and they're good. And it's like, that's very different than my situation. But that's okay. And other people may be worse off than me. Like, that's just the way it is, right? Anyways, I'm nattering on again. But yeah, I do have a lot of food anxiety, that's for sure. And it's definitely one of those things that makes me irritated because I love food and I love eating, but I also don't like getting sick when I eat. So when I'm not eating, sometimes I feel better. And I hate that. Like, it sucks. But I still make myself eat. Like, I'm not getting sustenance, you know? Like, I'm still getting something in me. So, yeah. Anyways, let me know down below if you guys think that maybe doing like a little tutorial on like bone broth stuff and preparation would be of interest for you, words, and that kind of thing, and then I can do that in the future. And if not, that's totally cool. No worries. It wouldn't be for quite some time because I'm quite swamped with things until like next year, but it is a food for thought thing, and then I can come back and like look through comments and that kind of stuff once I get settled and go from there. Anyways, I'm gonna head off now because I'm tired. So have a good rest of your day and evening or afternoon, and I'll see you next time. Bye.